Hey guys, this is the behind the scenes of Today with Pastor Jay, and I have my good friend. You can go ahead and do that. My good friend, Jill Woolbright, on the line. And we're going to be talking about Thanksgiving and what's it like, just giving thanks, right? And some of the things we do. And of course, my producer's amazing. He's pulling up a song for me, so we'll get it together. It's going to be the chorus. You're going to have to push it up some. Oh no, go back, go back. Yeah, start at the beginning. Let me see. That's the beginning. Yep. So we're going to come in with that. Okay. Just let me know when you're ready because I'm ready. Jill, you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh my goodness. I'm so glad somebody called me now. It's going to voicemail. Voicemail. All right. I'm ready. You are listening to Today with Pastor Jay, and I am so grateful and thankful today just to be here. It's a wonderful, beautiful day. Wake up, wake up, wake up. You're listening Today with Pastor Jay, of course, and my highly esteemed guest is none other than the Honorable Jill Woolbright. I'm still going to do that, which is my. So she got tagged in today. My guest, my scheduled guest, had an emergency, so it's her fault because she called me and I said, "Tag, you are it, Jill," and she said, "All right." So I'm going to start off about what I'm thankful for, and that's good friends like Jill Woolbright, who says, "I'll come on the radio. I don't have a problem with that." Good morning, Jill.
Good morning. Uh, you only because you have a really easy topic to talk about being thankful.
Yeah, this time of year, we see a lot of people discouraged. Here I am. And, last year, every year for the past 15 some odd years, of course, I go around in the community, give away meals, hot cooked meals to the elderly, the sick, and the shut in. And every year, I start out without a turkey or a green bean. And here I sit. I don't have a turkey or a green bean or $1 to purchase a turkey and a green bean, but I guarantee that the Lord is going to provide through someone, somehow, that I can serve these meals on Thanksgiving. And you've been with me on this roller coaster. Am I right?
Yes, for about 5 years, I've been on this roller coaster. The Lord always comes through, and it's always great. And you work yourself to the bone getting it done, but it gets done.
Fish every year it's a different challenge, but I am so thankful because I'm able to do that. I can't imagine. Earlier today, I was speaking with my Early Act Club. I'm one of the sponsors of Early Act Club, my Rotary Club with the Bunnell Elementary, and we had our first meeting. And these students was writing, making Thanksgiving cards for me to hand out with these individual meals. How cool is that?
So you
And one,
don't have a green bean and you don't have a turkey, but you have really nice handwritten cards from students. That's awesome.
I don't play. I'm believing. I'm believing God's going to provide. So yeah, I have all these beautiful colored cards from students at Bunnell Elementary School, the Early Act, and the very first person said, "Hey, um, I know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Happy Thanksgiving and God bless you. Have a great day."
Perfect.
That's what I said. So I was like, okay, we're off to a good start to have a student in school say, God bless you.
Mm.
Really? Because, you can't talk about things like that. You're not supposed to talk about things like that in school, but you can live those things, right?
Hmm.
As you
I,
think about the past year and all the things that you have gone through, tell me what you're so thankful for.
oh my goodness. I could sit here, I could do your whole show. I am so thankful just for God's provision, for his safety, his protection. Um, he rescues me when I'm in a mess. Friends like you, um, my family, my
I'm
health,
The Lord just keeps doing it, doesn't he?
over and over and over. When I think he's done, I just blessed again.
Mm. You know, this time of year, a lot of families don't have what they need in terms, not just the Thanksgiving meal, but just regular stuff, the provisions for their home. And how does it cause you to up your game if there's ever such a thing? Not that it's a game.
I think so. I mean, like I got into this year the Friendsgiving. Um,
Tell me about Friendsgiving.
well, I Friendsgiving you can do anytime from I think the 1st of November till Thanksgiving, and you just do something for your friends because you're thankful. So, I have a Bible study group here that I joined months ago, and I was going through a lot, and they didn't know what I was going through, but they were just an encouragement to me week after week after week. So, things just happen. And so I was in a store, I was in Hobby Lobby, and they had all their stuff on clearance. So I saw these little pumpkins, and they just said thankful. And I'm like, oh, 75% off. Each one of those little pumpkins, they're just carved pumpkins that you set on a shelf, like those little plaques you see. People would say different things. Just said thankful. And that's how I try to live my life. Because if I get up every day and I'm thankful, guess what? I have a good day. Um, so anyway, I thought, man, there's like about 10 of them here. So I bought 10. And then today at Bible study, I just passed them out. I said, Happy Friendsgiving. And I'd never done that before, but it was just a little token. It made me feel good to share. And then I just told them they didn't have any idea since I joined their group in February how they had poured into my life and how they had encouraged me and kept me going during some hard times. And I don't know. It was just it. So I get yes, I up my game, but
Up your game.
I didn't plan to do that. Just one thing led to another and another and another, and next thing I know, I have these little baggies with. Um,
It to give out. This time of year, I always like to encourage people, and you have always encouraged me. And like you said, listen, I don't have a turkey or a green bean, but we've got these beautiful handwritten cards to be delivered on Thanksgiving Day. Every year around this time, I just see God provides. He continues to provide for the community. He continues to provide for me. And it's not about the turkey. It's not about the green bean casserole. It's about family. So when we're going to take a break, when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about some of the family traditions, or maybe even some of the family um, dishes that we've cooked over the years. Don't go anywhere,
Ooh.
guys. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to Today with Pastor Jay.
His son, give thanks with a grateful heart.
So we're going to come back in. I'm going to read a scripture, and then we are going to. There's so many. Let's see. Okay, I got one. Are you ready? First Chronicles 16:34 said, "Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever." And one of the ways I see his steadfast love is it's just in my family, in my children, and I love Thanksgiving. Okay, so my granddaughter, my oldest granddaughter, I should say, my diva, my grand diva, all my grand divas are called grand divas. My granddaughters are called grand divas. But my oldest grand diva, I was sharing in early act today about how every Thanksgiving I we put these meals together and then we deliver them to all those that are in need before I feed my family. And today my granddita ran up to me. She's 9. She said, "Nani, I didn't know that's why we always that's I didn't know that's what you were doing all those times before you fed us." She had no, I think she's older now. I'm going to take her with me, but I'm always grateful for that. And I love the food. So we do a menu. How about you, Miss Woolbright? Do you have a menu when you had your kids? What kind of traditions did you have in your family, either growing up or things that you established in your own home?
Well, when I was growing up, it was different because then when you get married, you have to do what the husband's family did, right? And to kind of make your own. But we always have turkey, and we always had dressing, and we always had cream peas and mashed potatoes. It was
Cream peas.
very simple. And we had sweet potato casserole and always pumpkin pie. You have to have pumpkin pie. And lots of gravy. You have to make sure you have a big batch of gravy. You don't want to run out of gravy.
It's true.
That's rolls. My mom would, when I was a small child, my mom would make homemade rolls, homemade bread, and the dressing was always from cornbread. You have to cook the cornbread apart, cook it in the iron skillet in the oven, break it all apart. Yep. And pretty much the same thing goes, but except for my daughter never has cooked a turkey. I have to cook the turkey, but I used to cook the meal, but now my daughter does it. But I have to go to her house and cook the turkey.
As time have gone on and traditions have changed, what are some of your fondest memories? Because I know mine are always with the I still do the same thing. Even if I tell my children I'm not cooking, guess what happens?
You
I
cook.
still cook. Yeah. One year I said I wasn't cooking Thanksgiving. Of course I still cooked. I didn't invite them or anything. They started knocking on the door. I'm like, what's going on? Everyone came by to get a plate. They came by. They did. There's like, oh, we didn't pay attention to you when you said that you weren't going to cook. We knew that you were cooking. So now, I have my children are older families. I mean, older children, and they have families of their own. But Thanksgiving is the time where we all come together. I usually get an opportunity to see all my children, their spouses, and all my grandchildren. And, of course, we do the turkey. Now, I have to have turkey, the ham, and sometimes I do a roast. It depends, or filet mignon or something along the lines, or prime rib. It depends. So usually it's turkey, ham, and prime rib. The three of those. Of course, we have everything, all different times. So they'll bring green bean casserole and maybe pies or whatever, but everything else I have to fix. So one of the most coveted dishes outside of my squash casserole that I make, what I usually make and give them to my neighbors, are a simple thing. We always have deviled eggs.
Yes. Yes.
Yep. And my kids, you can't tell them anything because when it comes to my deviled eggs, hands down. Now I have several signature dishes, but that's one that's so simple that my girls call me and go, Mom, would you put that in my chili? Because we don't have that for Thanksgiving though, but I have a 5 bean, 3 meat chili that I make. But I love the traditions. I love family coming together. And we do the place settings with the names on the seats. We do the whole 9 yards, cloth napkins, the whole everything. That's how we do it in my home.
Of course you do, because you're extra like that. Hello.
Ah,
There you are.
we'll see. We will see. Now, another thing that we do on Thanksgiving is we draw names for the secret Santa gift because it's so many of us. I'm the only one that buys a gift for everyone in my family. And right now, we're probably over 20, 30 people. I don't even know now because when you add all my children, their spouses, and the children and their kids, I have no idea. In fact, my mother always made sure she always had an extra gift under the tree for Christmas. I always have extra gifts. So for Thanksgiving, we they draw names hmm for the Secret Santa gift. So that's one of the other traditions that we have. So what is it that you do that's kind of out of the box thinking that you have your own traditions, or do you have any?
Not really. Pretty much just that we all get together, but I don't get my whole family together, so it's usually they're spread out everywhere. So you're very, very blessed to have all those children you have in one place. So that doesn't happen for me, but everyone eats the same thing. And then one of the traditional things that we eat, um, every Thanksgiving and Christmas is my dad's famous recipe of biscuits and sausage gravy. Well, it's actually got sausage and bacon and hamburger in it, but it's a milk gravy. We
I've
always,
never. Wait a minute now. I'm gonna have to have this recipe.
no, you don't. This is a recipe you don't share. Only way you share it, sharing the food with people, but you don't. It's a secret recipe.
What's in it now? Bacon.
Bacon, sausage, hamburger, and then it's made with a milk gravy. It's a milk gravy, but it's thick. It's not like those restaurant gravies that just have a little bit of meat in it. It's full of meat.
I wrote that down, all right? Because I'm gonna go home and recreate it. You know what my grandmother could do? My grandmother is the bomb.com for real. My grandmother could go into any restaurant, eat something in the restaurant, and sit there and figure out the ingredients and then go home and copy it.
Wow.
She she did that with the biscuits at Red Lobster one time. those, those
That's
cheddar did. I was like, Grandma, are you serious? She said, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And she would eat them. Okay. She started writing it down. Did that. I love, I love my grandmother. And so this year, my sister's coming. What are you going to do for Thanksgiving this year?
I'm going to my daughter's and I'm cooking the turkey as usual, and she's doing all the sides. And then I have a friend whose family is going out of town, so she's going with us. So we have always invited people that didn't have someone to have a meal with at Christmas or Thanksgiving time. There's always room at our table. So that's what I'm
Oh,
doing.
all right. Well, we're going to take another break. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. You are listening to Today with Pastor Jay.
Jesus Christ, his son.
I bet my deviled eggs are as good as yours.
Saying, what'd you say? Deviled eggs? You got to put that on your list.
We have deviled eggs every year.
Here you have deviled eggs. I'm getting hungry.
I have to
I'm just saying.
tell about deviled. My son married a Mexican, right? And so he went to Thanksgiving. They didn't have any deviled eggs, and he swore, he told him, "You have to have deviled eggs." So every year he takes deviled eggs, and they love them. It's funny.
It's funny about different traditions. How much time I have? Okay, when we come back, I'm gonna read the scripture. I'm gonna say something about my sponsors, but then I'm gonna talk about giving in the community, how important it is to give, and especially our community here, because you were here in the community and you saw the need in the community. So I want to talk about that just for a few minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I want to give a thank you and a shout out to Church on the Rock. Thank you for sponsoring Today with Pastor Jay and Massage by Natalie. Psalms 104 says, enter his gates with thanksgiving and enter and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him. Bless his name. I am so grateful and thankful for my family, for friends. You know, you don't have to go far to be thankful for something, but there are those in our community who just don't have. The other day, I was speaking with someone within Bunnell, downtown Bunnell, and she was serving a family where the mother was strung out on drugs, and the child is in the first grade and isn't in school. That's what's happening right now
Wow.
in the town where we live. And my heart goes out to the children. My heart goes out to the elderly. My heart goes out to those that are less fortunate. And when people go, oh, that stuff's not real, that stuff on television, that problem isn't that bad here. And what I've learned over the past few weeks is that it is a growing and rising problem in our community, the finances, the economy. People are struggling. They are struggling. And and I'm always how do you help and to alleviate? When you give, I remember one year I was giving out turkeys, and then this one lady said, "Oh, well, I appreciate the turkey, but I don't even have electricity to cook the turkey." So then the thing went from giving the turkey to how do I get electricity and power in these people homes that have children? And then you realize that the turkey feeds people for the entire time that they're out on break. I
Yeah.
don't know that our community realizes. Some of us we're in our homes and we go, oh, that's not important. Oh, that doesn't happen. Oh, that's a third world country. But that is right here in our backyard. And that's what I do not every year, but every day of the year is serving the community. So Jill, how you taught at Bunnell Elementary School, you were involved in our community when you lived here. What do you believe it's still an issue here in the community?
Yes, and I think it's always been an issue, and I don't know that we can only help the situation, but there's always going to be a need. And I know that I used to send home bags of food with some students to get them through the weekend. Um, I know that I used to send them to clothing to like Emmanuel's Closet and places where they could get clothes. And that's been several years since I've been there. And with the state of the economy now, it's not any better. Their need is, if you open your eyes and just look around, you can see the need all over the community, all over the place. Um,
Mm.
my concern is always the children. The children first. They need to be fed and clothed and taken care of first. So if there's a need, we have a pantry over here or a women's shelter over here, and we take food once a month in this group that I'm in, and I always make sure that there's food in there that the kids will eat because I just my heart goes for the children. They've done nothing in their lives to deserve poverty or lack of food, and so the Lord tells us to take care of children and widows, and so that's what I try to do.
Also when you lend to the poor, you lend to the Lord, right? And he will repay. And that is so true. You can't beat God given.
No.
I've never seen anybody go broke by serving God and giving.
Mhm.
Never, never, never. There's always more than enough. So thank you so very much for being on the show with me, even though you weren't scheduled, just talking about how good God is. And just want to remind everyone that you can go to my website, Geraldine.org, and click on the donate button to give to this great thing that we're doing here in the community. All right, guys. 2 Corinthians 9:11-12 says, you will be enriched in every way to be generous in every way, which through us will produce thanksgiving to God. For the ministry of this service is not only supplying the needs of the saints, but is also overflowing in many thanksgivings to God. All right, you know what I say? Yesterday's gone, tomorrow's not promised. What are you going to do today? Do something for your neighbor. Do something for someone down the street. Do something for a stranger. But most importantly, give thanks to God. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Jesus Christ, his son.
Thanks, Jill. I have 2 calls to return. So bless the Lord. I will talk to you later.
All right, love you, my friend.